Hello and Assalamualaikum madam. My name is Muhammad HAQIEM'I bin RAMLI and my matrix number is 2021638492. I am a student EPJJ at UiTM Bandaraya Melaka. For the ASEAN country that I choose for this presentation is Vietnam. For the first topic that I want to present is the introduction. The picture of the right is a picture of the Vietnam's flag. For the introduction, first, Vietnam is the easternmost country on the Indochina Peninsula in Southeast Asia. It is the 14th most populous country in the world and the 9th most populous Asian country. Second, Vietnam was unified under communist rule but remained poor and isolated. In 1986, the Communist Party of Vietnam initiated economic reforms and political reforms that led Vietnam towards integration into the world economy. In 2000, it established diplomatic relations with all nations. Next, for the history, Vietnam opposed French rule in the First Indochina War. On September 2, 1945, President Ho Chi Minh declared Vietnam's independence from France under the new name of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. In 1954, Vietnam declared victory at the Dien Bien Phu incident, which took place from March to May 1954 and ended with a heavy defeat of France. After that, Vietnam was divided into two states, namely North Vietnam, officially the Democratic Republic of Vietnam, and South Vietnam, officially the Republic of Vietnam. The Ming Empire captured the Red River Valley for a while before the Vietnam's natives took it back. Then the French tamed Vietnam as a protectorate for nearly a century, followed by a temporary occupation by the Japanese Empire. Political upheaval and the rise of communism ended the monarchy after World War II, so Vietnam was declared a republic. The Vietnam War. This war involved the Democratic Republic of Vietnam, also called North Vietnam, and its allies against the Republic of Vietnam or South Vietnam and its allies, especially the United States. This war was one of several conflicts during the Cold War between United States and its allies against the Soviet Union and its allies. North Vietnam at that time was controlled by the South Vietnam Liberation Front, Viet Cong, the Soviet Union and China, while South Vietnam was controlled by the United States, Australia, New Zealand and South Korea. That's an example of the picture of the war. For the political system, the Socialist Republic of Vietnam is a country with a one-party political system. A new national constitution was approved in April 1992 to replace the old constitution that was drafted in 1975. In this new constitution, the main role of the Communist Party in all government machinery, politics and society has been confirmed. In politics, only political parties affiliated with the Communist Party are allowed to compete in election. This includes the Vietnamese Fatherland Front, Labour and Trade Union parties. Economic system. The government has introduced a planned economy to revive the national economy. Collectivization of farms, factories, and economic capital was carried out, and millions of people were given jobs under government plans. For decades, Vietnam's economy has been plagued by inefficiency and corruption in many state planning affairs. How quality goods and underproduction and restriction on the economy and trade. What is very painful for Vietnam is when the United States and its allies have imposed trade restrictions after the end of the Vietnam War. However, in 1986, the Six-Party Congress introduced important economic reforms with elements of an open market economy as part of a comprehensive economic reform package named Doi Moi. Doi Moi is seen as a solution to Vietnam's economic problems. Doi Moi Economic Transformation Modification Policy. The stage of Vietnam's economic transformation under Doi Moi's policies can be seen in three stages. The first stage, 1975 to 1979, is the stage of centralization of regional unification between the North and the South. In that years, efforts to combine the economy of North Vietnam and South Vietnam were carried out in earnest. This aimed to centralize economic activities and make it easy to monitor and channel aid if necessary. The stage 1980 to 1986 was an experimental stage in which Vietnam tried to change the socialist economic system to a more open liberal one. At this stage, at the beginning, there was a negative reaction for most parties because the community did not want any party that would oppress them later and the country would further regress. However, the expectation of most parties failed because the economic openness used by Vietnam has boosted its economy. In the third stage, 1986 to 1992, after seeing that the capitalist system or the system of economic openness has received positive reaction from many parties, the Vietnam's government has implemented policies that need to be used to ensure the successful transformation of the economy. So in 1987, Vietnam introduced the Doi Moi policy to drive its economic growth. This is the Vietnam president, named Nguyen Xuan Phuc. Date of birth, July 20, 1954. The general education, academic degree, Bachelor of Economics at Hanoi National Economics University in 1978. The workplace is the government office. For the political issues, environmental and political implication. Vietnam's low-lying area of the lower Mekong Basin are prone to floods, saltwater inundation, and riparian competition with upstream neighbors. Vietnam's opening to the global economy, accompanied by industrialization and a rapidly growing population, impose multi-scale, global, regional, local stress on urban and rural water systems, resulting in water contamination and groundwater overdraft. Water vulnerability is a function of both natural and social hazards and depends on the scope of capital investment, political and ideological institution, managerial capacity and governance. Water distribution and riparian ecosystem health are also hydropolitical issues related to dam building activity by Vietnam and its transboundary neighbors, Laos, Cambodia, and particularly China, whose territory contains the source of the Mekong River. For the economic issues, in Vietnam, many businesses have embraced sharing economy models in various industries including tourism, accommodation, transport, finance and labor. With their developmental potentials, those models have attracted a large number of customers and have stayed their market position. However, the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic caused big problems for most companies, including sharing economy models. With technology and digital platforms, those models have both opportunities and challenges. Security issues. Food security challenge. Vietnam could learn important lessons from Indonesia, particularly in building systems and institutions to manage food supplies, rice, and distribution channels. In addition, the government should encourage the development of technology such as to build data, improve the productivity and the quality of the food, as well as the distribution system. Socio-environmental problem in Mekong Delta. The destruction of the Mekong Delta ecosystem calls into question the sustainability of the region's future economic development and threatens the country's food security. Social issues. There are three. First is poverty. Rural and child poverty are primary social issues in Vietnam. In 2008, 14% of the population lived below the national poverty line, up 1.5 US million dollar per day, and child poverty remains much higher than the national poverty rate. Next, corruption. Corruption is a significant issue in Vietnam, with many people concerned about its impact on society. Third, freedom of expression. Vietnam severely restricts freedom of expression, with dissidents and right activists facing routine harassment, intimidation, arbitrary arrests, and imprisonment. This is the picture of Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. Last is the conclusion. Vietnam is a densely populated developing country recovering from 30 years of war, the loss of financial aid from the old Soviet bloc countries, and the rigidity of a centrally planned economy. Rapid progress was being achieved from 1986 to 1997 in moving forward from low levels of development to successful poverty eradication. Thank you, madam, for listening to my presentation, and I hope I do my best to my assignment. Thank you, madam.